welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about a very common misconception. I want to talk about the controversy. So I can already read the comments, but keep it to yourself because you will never out-argue me. So let's get to the video.
Speaking my heart like it really is, 'cause I can't take another no. I see, I like, I go, I get, no one can hold me back. I see, I like, I go, I get, go, I get, go, I get, go, I get now.
As you all know, I really don't like sit-down videos. My ADHD and just my disabilities in general really are affected by sit-down videos. But I'm gonna just do my best for this video because someone asked me to make it, and it's true, it is a common controversy, and I don't know why I've never thought about talking about it. So, this is the controversy surrounding golden doodles. Wow, what a shock. Let me preface this video first by saying I'm mainly going to talk about golden doodles. I have a golden doodle. That's the breed I work with. So I'm just going to mainly talk about golden doodles because that's just the ones. But I will mention briefly like other types of doodles throughout this video probably. So I just wanted to preface that here. So a lot of people say, or think I should say, that golden doodles are all backyard bred. That's what someone told my friend, which kind of inspired this video. That is not true, and thinking that is very ignorant, because that's like saying every golden retriever is backyard bred just because one breeder might breed them that way. No, like any dog can be backyard bred, any dog can be well bred. Like, it's really ignorant to say that's not true. That's like saying every mixed dog is bad because they're bred together. Like, that doesn't even make sense, especially since often these are the same people that will say adopt, don't shop, and so they'll be the ones going to get shelter dogs that were really probably backyard bred. Just saying, not hating on them. I think you should adopt or shop responsibly, whichever way you choose. As long as it's responsible. You can do both irresponsible. That could be a whole nother video, but anyway. So let's start at the beginning. Let me look up the date because of my disabilities. I don't remember. 1969. So the golden doodle was first bred or mixed together. Yes, I'm going to say breed throughout this. I will have on-screen facts throughout this video, but breed could be a mixed breed. It could be a purebred breed. It can be a designer breed. Nonetheless, my dog is a breed. A breed is an offspring. My dog is an offspring, so therefore he is a breed. So I am gonna say breed throughout this because that's the other thing people will say is, oh, he's not a breed, he's a mutt. Like, I know my dog's a mutt. I joke with him that he's a mutt. We understand this. With Gucci, okay? We get he is a mutt.
Sorry for the bad quality. With this voiceover, I didn't want to put up my camera just to do it, but as I was editing this video, actually, I looked up the definition for mutt because I wanted to put it in. I understand my dog's a mutt, which is actually, from the research I've done, is not true, because a mutt is a dog with more than 2 breeds in it. It's a dog that you might not know the breeds. It's a dog that was not intentionally bred. So looking at my research, he is a designer breed, which is true. Anything you look up about golden doodles will call him a designer breed. But he actually is not, by definition, from what the research I've done, a mutt. It says a mutt is a dog with more than 2 breeds in it. So a golden retriever, lab, and poodle, standard poodle, that would be considered a mutt. So I just wanted to put in this quick voiceover. This video is long enough, so I don't want to make it too long. But I just want to say that even I was uneducated on this because I thought he really was a mutt because he wasn't a registered, recognized, purebred breed. But that's actually not true. He's a designer breed and he's not recognized, yes, but he is also, by definition, not a mutt. Now here is the what's a designer dog, because that is what my dog is. So for people who think calling my dog a mutt is an insult, first of all, it was never an insult because I thought he really was a mutt. Like, I don't take offense to the facts. And also, that's actually not even true. From what I'm reading, a mutt is more than 2 breeds of dogs, and they are not intentionally bred, like a golden doodle is intentionally bred, poodle and golden retriever. He only has 2 breeds in him. Therefore, technically, from my research, he's a designer breed. Definitely, he's not a purebred, but he is also not the same thing as a mutt. So I just wanted to put this in there really quick. Enjoy the rest of the video. Goodbye.
But nonetheless, he's a breed because he was born. So anyway, just preface that there. But golden doodles were originally bred in 1969. Now, when they were bred, and again, I'm specifically talking about golden doodles this time. Obviously, there's different things for labradoodles and other doodles. But when they were bred, they were originally bred to be service dogs, specifically guide dogs at first, way back then, when that's pretty much all people had, for people with lung issues and allergies. Now, I want to kind of keep this segmented, but this isn't going to work because I'm also going to put in why I have one throughout this. The reason I have a golden doodle particularly is because I do have severe lung issues. I have a lot of lung diseases, underdeveloped lungs. I'm just not going to get into it, but I have a lot of lung diseases. I do treatments and things for my lung disease, so I have a lot of lung issues going on, and therefore I can't have a dog that sheds. If I do have a dog that sheds, I'm in the hospital or not breathing. In fact, before him, I had a dog that shed because I didn't realize how much that would affect me, and he was only 5 pounds, so he was tiny, and I was constantly sick, constantly in the hospital. Did not go so well. So that is how come. Now don't leave comments until I'm done with this video, because yes, I understand not all golden doodles are hypoallergenic, which we will get into. Don't worry your little pretty tapey fingers. But they were originally bred to be guide dogs and service dogs for people with lung issues because they wanted the gentle nature of the golden retriever along with the hypoallergenic and fur type of the poodle. And so they thought, okay, we'll breed them. Now, obviously, poodles are on the Fab 4, and so are golden retrievers. They're both on the Fab 4 for service dog breeds. I mean, you could just use a poodle nowadays, I suppose. But back then, that's how come they bred them. I specifically wanted the golden retriever temperament along with the poodle coat. Poodles have a good temperament, but they can also be really kind of hyper, which he is hyper. But, because he's pretty much all poodle. He's an F1B, meaning he's 75% poodle. So he's pretty much all poodle. But he does have, like, the loyalness and certain golden retriever traits that I wanted. But anyway, so that's why they were originally bred. Now, another common misconception people will say is, oh, the maker of doodles regrets making them. Here's the maker's name. I don't have it memorized. Of labradoodles. Let me specify that. Labradoodle maker here. That's not every doodle, first of all. That doesn't say, you know, how he bred them. Did he breed them outside? Was he a backyard breeder? Did he breed them with his family? Did he genetic test both the parents? Did he do all these things like that a reputable, responsible breeder does? Like, anybody can create a dog breed. That doesn't mean that because one of their dogs turned out wrong, all of them are going to turn out wrong. That's really ignorant thinking. Like, if you breed 2 golden retrievers together, but you don't genetically test both the parents and you don't temp test both the parents, then yeah, you're probably going to end up with a rowdy bunch of dogs. Like, genetics does matter in a sense. So, with that said, that was also the maker of labradoodles, not golden doodles. You can't compare labs and goldens. They're completely 110% different, which is actually how come I got a golden doodle. Not bashing labradoodles. I know amazing labradoodle service dogs. Personally, though, I know labs are more rough and tumble than the gentle golden retriever. And again, I wanted that golden retriever personality more than a lab personality. Labs are really, really crazy. In fact, we've met Labradoodles at the park and they're very hyper. They're like, my dog is a puppy times 10,000. So I'm really glad with my choice of going with the Golden Doodle. But not saying that, you know, again, if you like the lab personality, that might be a better fit for you. So I'm not bashing them at all, but I'm just saying, as regards to Golden Doodles, which is the comments I get about because I have a Golden Doodle, totally different breeders, makers, everything. My dog's a designer breed, but that guy that bred Labradoodles for the first time is not the same guy that bred Golden Doodles for the first time. They're two different, entirely different dogs. So just wanted to get that misconception out of here. But to say that all Golden Doodle breeders are backyard bred breeders is very ignorant, because any dog can be a backyard bred dog. It doesn't matter if it's purebred, mixed breed, it doesn't matter, designer, like, no. I know amazing service dogs that are Golden Doodles. In fact, the majority of the ones I talk to right now are Golden Doodles. So I know amazing service dogs that are Golden Doodles as well as Labradoodles and other doodles. You can't compare apples and oranges. One doodle is one doodle. You can't compare that specific mix of doodle to another mix of doodle. Bernice doodle is, Bernice doodle, Bernie doodle. I could not think of the word. A Bernie doodle is completely different than a Labradoodle. A Labradoodle is completely different from a Golden Doodle. Yes, Golden Retrievers and Labs have similarities, however, they have extreme differences. You know, Labs are known to be more rough and tumble. Which I will leave, again, facts throughout this. Labs are known to be more rough and tumble, while Golden Retrievers are known to be more gentle and loyal. So, completely different. Now I want to talk about non-shedding or hypoallergenic, because I get a lot of comments on this too. First of all, I want to say that hypoallergenic does not mean non-allergenic. There is no such thing. A hypoallergenic shampoo, yes, someone can still be allergic to. Someone could be allergic to the sun, water, like anything can be an allergy for someone. So yes, hypoallergenic does not mean non-allergenic. There is no such thing as non-allergenic. That just would not exist at all. Who are and aren't allergic to patches. Again, I have lung diseases. He doesn't affect me at all because I don't have fur flying around my house. But I know people allergic to dogs allergic to him, while I also know people allergic to dogs who have zero reaction to him. So, you know, it's give and take. Like, it doesn't mean non-allergenic. If you have an allergy, yes, I would highly recommend you spend a day with a Golden Doodle before deciding to get a Golden Doodle, because there is no guarantee. Now, I also want to talk about the shedding aspect, because people will be like, oh, well, they can still shed. Yes, that's true. They can still shed. And I mean typical dog shed. Every dog is going to lose some fur. Sorry, my dog's scratching. But every dog is going to lose some fur. Like, that's just inevitable. They have hair like humans. If I do that, I'm going to lose hair. So yes, every dog will lose some fur. But the point is, they don't shed. They don't lose buckets of hair every day. You know, if I brush him, yes, I'll get hair in his brush. He's an animal, he's a dog, he has a lot of fur, if you can see right there. So yeah, any dog can shed. That's just inevitable. Not shed, but lose fur. That's just inevitable because they have fur. But specifically the shedding aspect of it, where people will be like, oh, well, they can still shed. That is true. That's why I always say, if you get a Golden Doodle, do your research. I think I've done a video on this before, but I don't remember. I briefly remember talking about the generations of doodles. Patches is an F1B, meaning he's 75% poodle, 25% Golden Retriever. While if you get an F1B, it's 50-50. It's a mom was a poodle standard and its dad was a Golden Retriever. And so it's 50-50 mixed. With a 50-50 one, yes, it's 50-50 chance if the dog will shed or not. You don't know what genes it's going to get. That's inevitable. So it's 50-50 on if they'll get that gene or not. While Patches is an F1B Golden Doodle, meaning he's a 75% standard poodle and 25% Golden Retriever. His mom was an his mom was an F1 Golden Doodle and his dad was a standard poodle. So he's a 75% poodle, 25% Golden Retriever. So for him, he only had a 25% chance of getting his shedding gene. Now, the breeder that I went with, which I will talk about how my breeder was reputable in just a second, She watched, well, I was going to talk about that in just a second. Okay. The breeder I went with, she, actually, and his litter mates, he actually has litters. He has one, I think, maybe two. One, I think, out of like 8 puppies or 9 puppies, because they were big litters. But she had, I think, one with golden retriever genes where it had the long, wiry fur. It was weird because it's not exactly like a golden fur, like the thickness of it. It's more like a poodle fur texture, but it's wiry and long, and that one does shed, like a golden retriever, which would actually fall in line to the 25% chance because the rest of the puppies don't. So that would be, I'm not good at math, but that would be probably about the same, like percentage-wise. Now, I'll talk about my breeder a little, I guess. When I got him, she specifically watched the puppies for me. A good golden doodle breeder will never claim that they're all going to be hypoallergenic, no matter what. They will be honest about that. My breeder says, you know, you can still be allergic to these dogs. If you need it for a specific reason, let me know. But my breeder did watch the puppies for me to first ensure that first she temperament tested. Well, I don't want to get into the testing yet. I'll do that in a minute. But she watched the puppies to ensure that they wouldn't shed for me before I even, you know, picked one out. And then when I picked him out, she told me, you know, the curlier the fur, the less likely it is to shed, which falls in line because the other puppy that does shed has the long, wiry fur. And so she told me, you know, the curlier the fur, the less likely it is. Plus, she would watch him for me and, like, you know, wrap her hand through him and just try and make sure that he wasn't one that was going to shed a bunch. And so she really helped me with the process to get a hypoallergenic golden doodle. Again, he's an F1B, so he is very much poodle. He has many poodle traits. I think the only real golden one I see in him is his loyalness, but poodles are loyal too. But he loves water, which poodles and goldens both do. So poodles and goldens are much more alike than just a lab and a poodle. Again, not bashing them, but I'm just saying they're different, because when people talk to me about, oh, my dog's so bad, he must have been backyard bred, they talk about labradoodles or assume he's a labradoodle or something. Not saying that's okay to do, because there is good labradoodles, but I'm just saying goldens and poodles are so much alike that when you mix them, you really just have the best of both worlds. Of course, you should still do everything a reputable breeder does, which I will get into my breeder being reputable now. I hope I'm mentioning everything I want to say. It's so hard for me to do sit-down videos and try and be like, okay, I want to say this, I want to say this, I want to say that. So hopefully I'm saying everything I want to say. But my breeder was very reputable. She temperament tested the dogs. She biosensory trained the dogs, which I think I've done a video on that too. Maybe not. I don't know. It's where you like, it's also called early neurological stimulation training, biosensory for short. But it's really good. It's used on many working dogs. Like, you rub a Q-tip between their paws, not to hurt them, just to get the sensory. Like when they're really little puppies, like from 3 to 15 days old or something. Don't quote me on that. I think it's 3 to 15 though. But you rub a Q-tip through their paws. You put a little bit of ice on their paw. Again, not to hurt them. It's just a short time to get the sensory of it. And it helps them so that way when they grow, they aren't scared of vacuums. They aren't scared of different textured floors. It was actually originally used for mobility. It was actually originally used for military dogs because of the fact they couldn't be scared of anything, and so they would use it. But you do different textures, different sounds. You hold them every different ways, like upside down for a few seconds, like just a few seconds. Again, it's not to hurt them, it's just to get the sensory of it. And you handle them, and it's really amazing training. I contribute that to a lot of why Patches doesn't have fears. I know a lot of people say also golden doodles have fears. Not in my experience, but like any dog can have fears, any dog cannot have fears. So, you know, neither goldens or poodles are typically known for having fears. So the only way they are going to have fears is if they're truly badly bred, or if you didn't handle them right or introduce them to much early when you're supposed to. Like, you know, any dog can have fears, but neither poodles or goldens are typically known for having fears. So that only happens if something went wrong. But anyway, besides the point. But it's really good training just to help them get used to senses. So she did that, which most breeders don't do. That's one of the reasons I love my breeder. And I will definitely be getting a golden doodle from her for my next prospect if she is still breeding by then. F1B golden doodles, because I do need an F1B. Again, be educated on the variations if you decide to get one, because, you know, there's, you know, I would not go, well, I have to get an F1B, but I wouldn't get an F1 because of the 50-50 chance of shedding. And then I also wouldn't get anything below an F1B because it, like F2 and so on, because it's really, you don't know what you're gonna get. And I wouldn't breed a golden doodle that far down the line. That would seem a little sketchy. Not saying that you can't, but like multi-generational and stuff, it's kind of like you should stop at F1B, is my opinion. F1 and F1B. But because after that, they can also have more health issues related to, you know, golden and poodle breeds, which can add on health issues. Golden doodles are also known, in general, to be more healthier than, you know, standard poodles or golden retrievers, because of the fact you can breed out a lot of genetic health things. And so that's another thing on them. I mean, stereotypically, well, not stereotypically, but if you research it, it actually says that that mutts or mixed breeds can be healthier than purebreds because you can breed out those specific things. Not all the time, sometimes. Anyway, so my breeder, she did that early neurological stimulation training. Along with, she of course temperament tested the dogs, had her vet temperament test the dogs. She introduced them to her family and obviously the other dogs in her house, so they were already socialized. Pat just wants his tennis ball. He's looking up at his gear ball like, please give it to me. But she properly socialized them before I even picked him up. She probably did so much more. Genetic tests, obviously. She did everything that you're supposed to do. I can't think of it. I even have a whole binder of his family history. She actually breeds for service dog, well, for working dogs in general. A lot of her dogs are working dogs. She has anything from agility dogs. She even said she had a lifeguard dog when I went to pick up Patches. She has, of course, service dogs, therapy dogs. She specifically likes to breed for working dogs of pretty much any kind. So that's kind of her main focus, not her only focus. She does have a lot of pets as well, of course, but that's like what she really likes to do, is like give them to people who need them for specific jobs for the dogs, which is good because these dogs love working. They're so smart. They have poodle smarts, so they're so incredibly smart that they need a job to feel fulfillment, and they need to be active, so it's good that she does that. His eyes are up at the gear wall. And so it's a good thing, but I just wanted to say that. My breeder also, of course, genetically tests both parents to make sure that, you know, temp and genetic tests them. My breeder kept them in the home. Like, she doesn't do it from, oh, that's the other thing. I'm glad I thought of this. That's the other thing. Is people will be like, oh, well, you spend thousands of dollars for a mutt. No, like, I think it was just the other day someone said something to me about how I spent thousands of dollars for, oh no, they said, my dog can't possibly not be backyard bred because I spend thousands of dollars for a mutt, and any mutt that's thousands of dollars is definitely going to be backyard bred. My dog was not $1,000. I don't like to say his price because people then are like, you know, oh, well, then she couldn't have done genetic testing. But she did. She doesn't do this for money. They're like an old couple that just love breeding dogs. They don't really do it for the money. In fact, most of the money they make, they put it back into the puppy area, because of course they have a puppy area like you should have, so they don't get stepped on or hurt or pee and poop all over your house. So they have a puppy area, and she puts the money back into it. Like when I got him, she was thinking of putting a bath down there, so that way, because they bathe them before sending them home, of course. And so they were thinking of putting a bath down there, so that way it could be an easier one to put the puppies in and out of. So she doesn't do it for money. Genetic test, temperament test. I have a whole binder of everything they did to him. Like, I have his genetic test, temp test. I even have his family tree and like who became service dogs. So I have a whole bunch of stuff on him, like proof of everything. Of course, with any breeder, you should ask for proof. I could do a whole video on how to pick a reputable breeder. But trust me, I knew how to pick a reputable breeder. I was not going to risk it with my service dog. I did not have the money to redo it. Temperament tested, vet checked, of course. They had first round of shots. I can't think of everything, but they did all the reputable things. They, you know, vet checked them. They just did everything. Like, they were amazing breeders. They even kept a vacuum outside their pen, so that way when they go to their new homes, they wouldn't chase or be scared of the vacuum. So, or not outside their, pen. So they weren't scared of the vacuum, and they kind of grew up hearing it, so they wouldn't be scared of it. So they were just amazing breeders. Not all golden doodles are backyard bred. It's ignorant to say that. Like, that's like saying every golden retriever is backyard bred, or every Dalmatian. Like, Dalmatians have been so inbred, and maybe people do bash them. I don't know. I don't have a Dalmatian. But, you know, they've been so inbred and backyard bred that they often have hearing and seeing issues. Which maybe people do bash them, and I just don't know because I don't have one. But, like, not every dog of every breed is going to be backyard bred. Not every golden is backyard bred. Not every golden doodle is backyard bred. Not every standard poodle is backyard bred. Like, that's like saying, oh, purebred, it's backyard bred. Or every mixed breed is backyard bred. I don't see people talking about other mixed breeds and calling them backyard bred, and that every one of that breed must be backyard bred. Like, I don't get what the beef with golden doodles is. Is it that they're just so cute and smart and cuddly? Like, funny part is, side note, it's mostly balance trainers that attack me for him. Just saying. Just saying. I don't think I've had any positive reinforcement. People tell me my dog is bad or not. But I also can train my golden doodle without a prong. Okay, side note, so I digress. But, so yeah, it's just ignorance to say that everyone is going to be backyard bred. Now, what am I going to do for my next dog, you may ask? I think I've talked about everything I want to talk about, so that's going to be my next segue. My next dog is going to be an F1B Golden Doodle. Actually, it depends. You know, when I got him, I did look at poodles, and standard poodles and golden doodles. He also does mobility, by the way, so he had to be a bigger dog. Plus, with some of his responses and other tasks, he had to be a bigger dog. So that's why I got an F1B standard Golden Doodle for his sizing. But my next dog, it actually depends, you know, like, because a lot of standard poodles are backyard bred. When I was meeting dogs, I did meet a couple standard poodles, and they were kept outside. As well as I met a lot of backyard bred golden doodles who were kept outside. So you can't just judge one breed and say they're all backyard bred. My dog wasn't. I did my research. I searched for him. Oh, I think that's what I was saying. I couldn't redo it if I got it wrong, because of the fact that he was a lot of money. Like, I mean, even though it was cheaper of the, you know, going with a breeder dogs, he was still a fairly amount of money, especially with puppy shots and puppy things. I could not afford it to do it again. So trust me, I did it very correctly the first time. Which shows because I have an amazing, incredible service dog. Golden Doodle. If his breeder is still breeding, because she was so amazing, I will go with her in a heartbeat if she is. But if she is not, then I plan to look at both F1B Golden Doodles or standard poodles. I probably will lean more towards the poodle side of things. It's not anything with him. I love him. But I just don't know if I would trust another Golden Doodle breeder that's not my own. Maybe. I mean, like when I looked for him, I looked at both, you know, so I probably will do that again. It'll depend. I do plan to probably get an F1B Golden Doodle again. I love the breed. I love the temperament. I love everything about him, so I do plan to get one again. Hashtag no shame. And my breed of choice. That should be a shirt. My breed of choice. I love my Golden Doodle. He's amazing. He's amazing temperament. He's an amazing service dog. They're not all backyard bred, and that's ridiculous to say, because that's like saying every, you know, lab is backyard bred. Every Great Dane is backyard bred. Like, no, every mixed breed is backyard bred. Anyway, so I think that's it for today's video. Don't say every Golden Doodle is backyard bred, because it's not true. I can read the comments in my head right now of what they're going to say about this video. So, go ahead and leave it, because I will leave you facts to your comments and probably do a part 2 if I get enough of them, because This is a very controversial topic. It's like, oh my god, her service dog is highly trained as a golden doodle. Oh, he's so badly bred. Oh my god. No, my breeder was amazing, so. But if you want more information, there might be some below because I'm reading those ignorant comments in my head, right? As I film this. Maybe they won't come, maybe they will. But stop bashing golden doodles. Yes, they are high maintenance dogs. They're energetic. They need brushing and regular grooming. He goes to the groomers every 6 weeks. I'm not going to really talk about their needs right now. They are high maintenance, but because of my lung diseases, if I needed a service dog. I was going to say if I wanted one, but I don't want one. I needed one. But because of my lung diseases, that was the only option. So he's high maintenance, which a standard poodle would be as well, because again, he's very poodle-y, so he's pretty much the same temp and coat and everything as a standard poodle would be. But he is not backyard bred. He is high maintenance. That could be a whole separate video, but I'm not going to talk on that today. But I think that's it. I feel like this video went smoothly. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes I think it goes well, and then I read it, and I'm like, I got off topic so many times. That's why I hate sit-down videos. They're just hard for my disabilities, ADHDs particularly, but along with my other disabilities as well. It's hard to keep my mind focused on the topic. It's like, oh, I could talk about this now. It's like, cat, squirrel. So, that's me. I should have gearboxing soon. I know I keep saying that. The harnesses are taking longer than I expected, especially since they said they would be done by the end of last week, and it's been a week since then, and nothing on them, so getting a little nervous, but kind of not because they have a bigger following. I mean, it's the first time I went with them, which is the only reason I'm a little, like, nervous. But, they do have a bigger following, and as you all know, like, if a gear maker is going to scam you in the service dog community, everyone's going to know about it. So I'm not thinking that that's what it is, but I just wish they would be honest with me about the time. You know, like, the maker I get my capes from, which I'm ordering another one. Alice in Wonderland theme. Hint, or not hint, but sneak preview. Not really, because, well, I could show you my fabric. Here's my fabric. I already bought it and had it mailed to her, so yeah, I'm ordering another cape, and I'm so excited about it. It's only going to have 4 patches, but that's perfect. That's just how I wanted it. So, see, when I order gear, I would rather save money and have it be perfectly how I want than just order a cape without patches. Plus, for me, like, half of the fun is deciding patch themed to go with the capes. You know, like Alice in Wonderland particular themes, things like that. So, that's like pretty much the entire fun for me is figuring out patches and fabric. I like that part too, but patches is my jam. So I'd rather save money and have just all the patches I want, but this one I did choose 4 because 1 for each side and then 2 for the back, just because I want the back fabric to be seen, because the fabric I have is adorable, so I really want it to be seen. But yeah, so I'm ordering that, so that should be soon. But at least with that maker, she's honest. Like, when I ordered his last 2 capes that are still, you know, not here yet, at least she admitted they were like 6 months out, whereas now it's like the maker that I ordered my harnesses from for the first time is not really being honest with me and keeps saying, oh, by the end of the week. Like, if I gave them my order number when they asked, and if they know that if they know that I'm far enough out that it's not really by the end of the week, you know, because they've been saying that for like the last 3 weeks, then they should just be honest about that. Like, just tell me where I am or how long you think I'm going to be. But we'll see. Hopefully soon I'll have those. Now my camera really does have 1 battery, so I'm going to charge this battery, but thankfully I have 4 others. But that's it for this video. So yeah, I should have gear unboxings coming up very shortly when I get those harnesses. I know my capes, the 2 capes I have coming, are not going to be here until like the end of June or July sometime, so those ones will be a while. But the ones that the harnesses should hopefully be here sooner, although I'm not holding out much hope. At first they said 8 weeks, so I messaged them at 8 weeks, and they said, oh, by the end of this week, and so I messaged them a week later, and then a week later, and then a week later, and here we are. So, getting a little tad nervous just because I've never ordered from them, but I'm sure it's not a scam, because if it was, everyone would know about it in the community. It's just kind of frustrating, especially going with a new maker for the first time, and they're not really giving you realistic expectations. I don't mind waiting times. just tell me when to expect it so I don't worry about, you know, if it's gonna ever show up. But I'm not that worried about it. They have a bigger, like not bigger following, not as big as my cake maker, but they have a good amount of following, plus everyone would hear about it if they were scamming people. So, and I've seen people wearing their harnesses, so I'm not concerned about it really, but also I'm getting a little bit irritated because I'd like a realistic expectation. But anyway, that's all for this video, so I hope you enjoyed. There's my amazing service dog. He's in the background. As you all know, I don't make him sit through these videos. He's not the YouTuber. I am. I've seen people make their dogs, well, not make, maybe they choose to sit there, but like have to do every video with their dog in the frame, and I'm like, unless it's a vlog where my dog's just with me because he's my service dog. If I'm just doing a sit down at home video, I don't make him sit with me because he doesn't have to. Unless sometimes for gear unboxings I will, but most of the time even then I don't. I just do the unboxing and then I show him wearing the gear. But yeah, so I think that's it for this video. Patches made his beautiful appearance. He's an amazing service dog and we have things to do today. So I'm going to let you guys go. And yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope I said everything, but I know I'm going to watch this and go, I forgot that, and that. But maybe I won't. I think I covered it all. Especially all my main, like all the main things people say to me. So anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, do all things, and I'll see you later. Bye guys!